Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. How do I do it? Stay tuned. Y'all, today I'm going to share with you what I think are the only things that you need to break into paper crafting. And you can definitely add to it later. But if you want to just break into paper crafting and you want to turn out some beautiful projects, everything else that's out there, the die cutting systems, the punches, the electronic cutters, all those things are nice to have, but they're not items that you must have. So if you're just breaking into paper crafting and you want to know if this is the hobby or the craft for you, don't go out and spend a whole lot of money buying this machine or this punch or that punch. Buy a few items and then watch videos such as mine where I walk you through step by step how to make beautiful projects without the need for machines. Do I use machines sometimes? Yes, I do. But you know what the difference is? Even if I didn't have that machine, I can make that project. So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera so that I can show you what I think you need in your basic toolkit to be able to paper craft. So I'm really going to go over these in no particular order of importance, but these are the things that I think that you need for accuracy. Some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. If you don't want to invest in some of these items, you certainly don't have to. You don't even have to invest in the ones that I'm showing you. Something comparable might be on the market, but when we're crafting for accuracy, which is what we want to be doing, these are the things on which I rely. So starting with my scoreboard, which also serves as a trimmer. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, and it is a scoreboard / trimmer. So depending on how you have this turned, you're either in scoring mode or you're in trimming mode. But a good scoreboard and a good trimmer is great for paper crafting because we need to start with accuracy. We need to start with the right measurements, and we need to start with clean, crisp cuts. So whether you buy an all-in-one like this, or you invest in a separate scoreboard and a separate trimmer, that's okay too, because the goal is to start with accuracy. So a scoreboard and a trimmer is definitely something that you saw me using when I made this. And then in your toolkit, you should have a good quality tear tape. I use scrappy tape. You can use whatever tape it is you want to use. Just give it a try and make sure that it has some longevity and staying power, because you don't want your project coming undone after you've stuck down that tape. I have never experienced that with scrappy tape, so that's why I have stuck with scrappy tape. I know a lot of you use another brand of tear tape that's very popular. Whatever works for you, continue to use it. But I definitely think that having a good tear tape is very important to do the type of paper crafting that we do on my channel and probably on some other channels as well. So you most certainly saw me using tear tape and my scoreboard when I made this. And where would my crafting be without Reptile adhesive? You guys saw me using Reptile adhesive religiously throughout 2022, 2021, 2020, because it is my go-to adhesive. For me, this is some of the best adhesive on the market. It is the one that you will hear me talk about over and over and over again. But if you have an adhesive that works well for you, keep using it. I'm not on here today to push any product. You'll hear me say the names that I use, but if this is not something that you're using and you don't want to switch from what you're using, keep using what works for you. And what works for me is the Reptile adhesive. And you guys know that it works for me because you saw me use the adhesive, the glue, and my scoreboard when I made this. Then you're going to need something with which to score, whether you're using a bone folder, which most bone folders have like a pointy or a tapered end to it so that it will fit in the grooves, or as you typically see me do, I use a stylus. And this stylus is from the Dollar Tree. It has a small bulb and a larger bulb on this end. And I use them to get down in the grooves. If I'm using a very sensitive paper, I'll go with the bigger bulb, but ordinarily I'm going to go with a smaller bulb to get down in there. So something to score with is definitely needed. And you saw me use this stylus, this adhesive, this tape, and this scoreboard when I made this. And then sometimes you'll see me use my snail tape runner as a substitute for this. And I'll do that when I'm wrapping over the edges of a project that are going to be sandwiched in by another piece of paper that will have this tear tape on the edges of that liner piece. So you'll see me do this on occasion, but I make sure that I'm starting with a very good snail tape runner. I know some of you use Tombow tape runners. Those are also very good tape runners. I like to use a full mark tape runner when I can find them at a reasonable price. When it's not full mark, then I'll use something like a Sun D tape runner to get the job done. But full mark is my first go-to on tape runners. And you don't have to have this tape runner. If you have one that's working for you, go ahead and continue to use it. But you saw me use this tape runner on the edges as a substitution for this, but you also saw me use this, and this when I made this. And then of course you're going to need some type of a cutter, whether it's scissors or the finger blade, which I am a huge fan of. I will use scissors on occasion. I have a pair of scissors right here. You guys saw me clean my scissors in a recent video, but you will need some type of cutter to go in and make your cuts. Once you've taken them out of the scoreboard or the trimmer, there might be some additional cuts that are needed, and you're going to need a way to do that. So I use my finger blade. You don't have to use the finger blade. You can try the scissors if that works for you. If you've always been a scissor person, continue to be a scissors person. But of course you saw me using this along with my tape, my glue, my stylus, and my scoreboard when I made this. And then y'all, this is a completely optional item, but for me, it is now a staple in my crafty toolkit, because where would I be without my big old spatula? I use it to cover large areas when I'm crafting. So if I didn't have a big old spatula, I can use the back of my bone folder to go in and smooth out. But I like my big old spatula because it's big, it's easy on my hands, and it makes it so much easier for me to be able to do my spreading in 1 or 2 passes. So this is definitely one of those optional items. Don't go buy it if you don't have one, but you do have a bone folder. You have what you need to be able to accomplish what this will accomplish for you. But y'all know that I love it, and you saw me using it with my tape, with my glue, with my stylus, with my finger blade, and with my scoreboard when I made this. These are the tools that I think that you need. With the exception of the big old spatula, which I consider an optional tool, y'all, I can make almost anything with what I have right here on my desk. So I hope this little walkthrough has been helpful to show you that you don't need all of those expensive items to be able to turn out beautiful projects. I'm a big believer in the fact that we should know how to do it completely by hand before we rely on machines. The machines will complement what we do, but if you can take a piece of paper, place it in the scoreboard, make some strategic cuts and folds, and then turn out a beautiful project, that's going to give you so much satisfaction. Then if you want to pull in that cutter to, let's say, mass produce, or to add an embellishment to it, or to even try something else that complements what you already know how to do. But if that machine was to break, you still know how to sit down and make that project. So hopefully this has helped those of you who ask me, what do I need to be able to make the projects that you make? Here it is. So if you've liked this video, and I hope you have, please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.